Cookies for breakfast sound good, don't they? Janine Washle is here from Cloverfield's Farm and Kitchen to show us some great recipes to make your own breakfast cookies. One of these we're about to make is a no-bake.
That's right. It's a no-bake cookie. We love granola bars. You and I were just talking about chewy yet a little crunchy.
Right.
You know, it's all about texture, and these will satisfy. There are nuts if you want nuts in them, or seeds to
Depending
add
on,
that crunch.
right.
And you know, we're all trying to jumpstart our healthy eating. I have to admit, you know, I was really good from Thanksgiving till the week before Christmas, and I had one scoop of hash brown casserole.
And that was the end.
It was
Went off the
over.
rail. Well,
So,
and this is a great way. You know, if you tell your children you're serving a breakfast cookie,
oh,
they're
instantly
in.
when they,
But if you get whole grains in there, if you get some protein in there,
Yes.
you find a way to keep them full. It's not going to be empty calories.
It really needs to be fiber and protein. You can give them a smoothie that's got fresh fruit in it, but the natural sugar will actually stimulate the appetite, you know, make you feel hungry like an hour later. Now these are ground carrots. I pulsed them in the food processor, and then I cooked them down with honey. And so they're nice and sticky. And
so we're making a breakfast cookie that resembles a carrot cake.
Yes,
That's
it's a no-bake
similar
carrot cake cookie.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's all of those familiar flavors. That is cooked quinoa.
Quinoa has protein in it. That's what's going to keep you full in this
It's a
recipe.
long-lasting protein. In fact, it's one of the greatest sources of plant-based protein.
And honestly, that you could put that in just about anything. Use it where you use rice. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. It just fills you up.
That's right, and it keeps you full for a long time. So you can definitely make it without, you know, crashing and going over to the. That is coconut oil.
That smells wonderful.
And so I use, like, if it calls for a stick of butter, if a recipe calls for a stick of butter, which is a half a cup of butter, I use a quarter cup of coconut oil instead. It's more dense. It doesn't have the water in it like butter has in it. And then this is a little bit more honey. I find that we need just a little bit more to create that pleasing sweetness that children love. And whenever you substitute honey in a recipe, use half the amount of honey. So if the recipe calls for a cup of sugar, use a half a cup of honey, because honey gives you a greater perception of sweetness. And so then we've got old-fashioned oats that I've pulsed in the food processor. And the reason that I'm pulsing all of this stuff is to create a common uniform texture. That's almond flour.
That's so you don't have giant chunks and little small grainy pieces.
Yes.
Right?
And when we use the cookie cutter on it, it makes it a lot easier. That is coconut flour. And coconut flour is a great source of fiber. Really good source of fiber. Those are actually raisins and pecans, and so they
They're all
add,
in?
they add natural sweetness, and
and
I pulsed them so that they would create that stickiness that we'll need to make everything. And that is orange zest, a little bit of salt to pull our flavors together, and cinnamon. And there we go, and those are our seasonings.
All right, so we are about out of time. Once we get this together, it's going to take a little elbow grease because you're working with dry ingredients, but they're going to stick together.
I press them out in a pan, and then I just use a cookie cutter. They come out just like this. Put a little bit of cream cheese mixed with a little bit of honey. You could easily use a soy-based cream cheese. And that's the beauty of this recipe. It's easily adaptable for gluten-free, for vegan. Well, this would, you know, switch out the honey for like an agave or something like that. And so as you can see, it's easily customizable for a lot of eating plans.
We're going to have another great cookie recipe for you on our website, WDRB.com. And when we come back, Janine will show us some noodle bowls as another way to kickstart your healthy eating.